You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
You're planning a vacation, an escape from the day-to-day routine of everyday life. You're looking forward to getting pampered in some sun-bathed tropical island getaway, surrounded by cool, balmy breezes with the soothing, relaxing sounds of calypso music playing distantly in the warm island air. Doesn't it sound wonderful? Well, don't leave your pets at home. They want to go too. Welcome to Travel Tales, the show where you'll get great travel ideas on perfect places for you and your pet. From Paris to paradise, south of the border to the South Seas, Travel Tales will give you cool tips on fun vacation destinations to travel with your pet, pet-friendly hotels, and advice on how to travel safely and happily with your furry best friends. So get ready to pack the bags and the bones with your Travel Tales hosts, Susan Sims and Nicholas Vezlowski.
Hi, everybody. This is Susan Sims.
And I am Nicholas Vezlowski. We are your hosts for Travel Tales on Pet Life Radio. And as editor and publisher of Fido Friendly Magazine, we know travel. And, speaking of travel, right now, Susan Sims is on the road, so we might have a little bit of delay, but you're reporting out on Route 66, right?
Well, we actually finished our Route 66 tour in Chicago on July 1st, and we've been making our way slowly back in our Toyota Venza. We've been driving back to Idaho.
Oh, my gosh. How long have you been on the road?
Oh, who knows? I'm a gypsy now. I know.
Yeah.
It's like the Gilligan Island, 3-hour tour. We were supposed to be gone for 4 weeks, so I think it's 9 weeks now.
Oh, my gosh. You didn't think you were going to be gone that long. How's the house holding up?
I could care less. I don't even care if we come home, because this is really much more fun. I don't believe in those blackberries because, first of all, it's too annoying to have to figure out how to work them. And so what I did is I bought an air card and I put it in my laptop. So it's like my giant BlackBerry. I can just sit in the car for 4 hours while Greg drives and work.
Well, that's kind of cool, I guess, if you want to work.
Well, some of us have to work.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so you were out there for a long time and you were just helping raise awareness for pet adoption. So what was it all about?
What we did is the first annual Get Your Licks on Route 66. What we did was we partnered with North Shore Animal League America, and we drove the Mother Road the whole entire month of June into July, and we would work with partner shelters and work it to where the 36-foot mobile adoption bus would come out and pick up animals and go to venues like a Walmart. And we had pre-press publicity so people would come out that day looking to adopt.
Oh, that's great. And I know that, that's going to be really fun to go over in today's show, but also some of the hotels that you must have seen along the way.
You know what? Really, it's a crime what I'm doing. It's so much fun. Really, we had La Quinta Inn & Suites is one of our sponsors for the tour, and they were wonderful. So we always had a place to stay. The bus drivers had a place to stay. But in between those, if we had 2 or 3 days between events, of course, we had to get our Fido-friendly news hound and reach out and see what other places along Route 66 are Fido-friendly, and there's quite a few.
Well, how did Junior do? Junior's your new little. Is he a mix or is he a pure black lab?
Well, when we got him in March, he looked like the cutest little black lab you ever saw in the world, and he had a little white spot on him, so we knew he had something else in there. And now we're sure he probably has bloodhound in him because he's so much fun, and he's such a great traveler. He went from pound puppy to poster pup because we plastered his face all over the bus. So as we just tooled down Route 66, and it had all this stuff on the bus about adopting, and it had a big giant picture of Junior, and it had a bubble next to his face that said, "Hi, my name is Junior, and I was adopted."
Yeah, that was kind of quick. How big was he? He was huge on that thing.
Oh, God, about 6 feet probably.
Didn't you say something about going into some of the hotels and people would say, "Hey, isn't that Junior?" or something like that when they saw the mobile unit?
Yeah. What was funny is because oftentimes at the end of the day, by the time the bus drivers would get back and take the shelter puppies and cats back, then they'd come and park the big RV. It's like 36 feet. And we'd be at the same hotel, and we'd be out walking Junior, and then someone would say, "Is that Junior?" And we were always so surprised, duh. I mean, it's like a 6 foot put a face on the bus, so of course people knew who he was. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool. Well, it looks like we have plenty to talk about today, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk about the Get Your Licks on Route 66 Pet Adoption Tour and a wonderful Fido-friendly getaway that you won't want to miss. So sit and stay. We will be right back with more travel tales on Pet Life Radio.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts, put your seat bags and sleeping pets in their full upright position, and prepare for takeoff. Travel Tales will be zooming back with more great travel tips right after this.
Pawfume Dog Grooming and Finishing Spray is proud to be a new sponsor of Pet Life Radio. Pawfume's super long-lasting sprays are available in 4 unique fragrances. Each Pawfume spray is fortified with the finest conditioners and detanglers to make combing out your dog more fun. Pawfume retails for only $2 per 6-ounce bottle. Pawfume is available nationwide at all Dollar General and Family Dollar stores. Why pay more to have your dog smell great? Pawfume, Pawfume.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's All Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Attention passengers, we are now approaching our final destination. The weather is sunny and warm. Ocean temperature is a balmy 80 degrees for those of you wishing to doggy paddle. Please exit to the front and see our activities directors, Susan and Nicholas, on your way out. Have a pleasant stay.
Welcome back to Pet Life Radio. This is Nicholas Vezlowski along with Susan Sims, your host for Travel Tales. You know, before the break, we were talking about the cross-country adoption tour, Get Your Licks on Route 66, with Susan Sims, who is still out on the road.
Yep, we're still traveling and working our way back to Idaho. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime thing that is going to now be an annual event, but we partnered with North Shore Animal League America. And for those listening who have not heard of them, they are the largest no-kill animal shelter in the world. And with the help of our sponsors, we have Purina, One Hope Network, Bissell, 3M, Toyota, La Quinta Inn and Suites, and Animal Radio, and they helped us get the word out to all the cities along the route to hold the adoptions.
Yeah, I was at that launch party in Los Angeles, and I heard even Junior made the news.
We had a big media party when we started it. It was June 6th, and Channel 7 came out to support that. And we had all kinds of people out there and a lot of pets to be adopted, and it was so much fun. And the next day in the hotel room, I heard over the TV something about Route 66. So when I ran in to see it, there was a picture of Junior, big as life on the news. It was so cute.
He looks so cute at the press conference. I think one of our advertisers sent him a couple of ties to try on for the trip.
Yeah, these are funny. I've never seen these ties before, but one of our advertisers for Fido Friendly is Petey Designs, and they make these fabulous ties for dogs. And it's actually a button-down collar that is Velcroed in the back. So in the front, where the button down is, the tie sits, just like on a regular shirt. So anyway, they sent him probably like 6 or 7 ties.
He was looking pretty sharp in that. I know that was getting quite a bit of attention. Well,
It did get a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, he was also growing in size. Did he ever grow out of the ties?
Well, they gave us 2 sizes. They were so smart. So in the beginning, he only weighed 49 pounds when we started, and currently he weighs in at 65 pounds.
Oh my gosh! How big are his paws? Can you tell how much bigger he's going to get?
They're big.
Oh.
We've had labs in the past, so he's a big guy. But he is a perfect traveler. We've had him in a lot of doggy daycares along the way. Camp Bow Wow is one of my favorites, and we use that at home in Boise. But he's so social, and he loves dogs so much that when it was really, really hot in the Midwest, like we were in Missouri, and it would be 97, but it would be a heat index of 107, we couldn't take him with us or leave him in the hotel, so we would take him to doggy daycare, and then we'd be out there on the hot blacktop with all the other people. But luckily, the adoption bus is air-conditioned. It's totally climate controlled, so people would get on the bus. They could actually come inside and look through the different, dogs and cats, and then they could, either decide to adopt then, or oftentimes they'd just come back to the shelters. We learned later that they would come back and maybe adopt that night or the next day.
Oh, wow. Well, do you know how many we ended up actually adopting out through the entire tour?
Well, I think the numbers came in at about 150.
Wow, that's great. How many stops were there?
Oh, it was only supposed to be 18, but by the time we kept adding stops, I think we did about 25 or 26.
Well, that's pretty good. That's a little over 5 or 6 animals adopted out per stop. That's great. Yeah,
it was good, but I'm not complaining because every time we would stop, there's all these heartwarming stories. There one place. In fact, I don't know if you were at that last one that Bissell did one. They wanted a wrap party in Chicago, and I don't know if this was the one where they had the 14-year-old blind beagle.
No, I don't. It wasn't. I wasn't there at that one. 14-year-old blind beagle.
Yeah, and a lot. The stories are heart-wrenching because it's like an owner turn-in that say the person was elderly and went to the senior home and they couldn't take their animal and they didn't make provisions for the poor animal, so it gets turned into a shelter. So people sometimes think that these are just throwaway animals, and there's a lot of great animals in the shelter for people to, when they're looking for that, lifetime companion. They had purebreds, they had dogs that people moved and they couldn't take with them, which was, not a good story, but they have some great adoptable animals.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I know I saw some of the pictures because we're doing something for Fido Friendly Magazine where everybody that adopted out a dog got their picture taken, and then we choose the cover dog from those photo shoots. So we went through some great ones. We were down to the finalist, and I think even one of them might be a beagle.
Yeah, this is actually is hard because we are going to pick one to be on the cover. It may be the November-December issue that we're going to be working on here pretty soon. So that's really going to be great. And we'll have like a little more story about the tour too. But it was a lot of fun, and this was an experience. This was the way to see the USA, and Toyota actually gave us a Venza to drive. That's what we've been driving. We've
I saw that.
Miles on it.
I was actually pretty jealous of you and your husband Greg the Jr. You guys got to drive that Toyota Venza around for the whole tour. I think it was a really nice car.
You know what? It really is a nice car, and it's very sturdy. And what they did is they partnered with Kurgo, and Kurgo provided seat covers and seat belts and that type of thing, because I don't know if you've seen any of the ads on TV, but they're promoting the Venza as a pet-friendly car, and that's because of all these amenities that people can order. Once they sit down to buy the Venza, they can say, oh, I want a car seat, or I want a seat belt, that kind of a thing.
It was such a great partnership. I mean, with everybody that got involved, the sponsors were really great in helping out and supporting the event. And, I mean, the North Shore Animal League America, they had that climate-controlled bus for the mobile adoption unit. And I was just amazed at how hard those two bus drivers worked throughout all the events.
Yeah, it was Deb and James were the names, and what they did was really interesting because I had no idea, but they would go to the partner shelters early in the morning, get the dogs and cats and bring them to the venue, and then at the end of the day, we would be there 3-4 hours the end of the day, whoever wasn't adopted, they would get back on the bus, they'd take them back to the shelter, and at which time then they would thoroughly clean and sanitize the bus for the next day. So they put in some horrendous hours. Oftentimes we wouldn't even see them, but it wasn't unusual for them not to get back until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then they'd have to maybe drive the next day to the next place. So, these people that donate their time and really get involved, kudos to them, because it takes a lot. You have to have a big heart to do that.
Yeah, seriously. Well, this was a great first annual. I know we were pretty successful at that. And then when it comes down to it, all the animals that went to loving homes that makes you feel good to be a part of something like that. So I think, next year we'll probably even plan for something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it in September next year, and we'll go from Chicago. We'll do it backwards. We'll start in Chicago and in L.A. So I think September, we're going to start talking about this probably in October and start a little earlier, because we pulled this together in about 4 months. We just started talking to North Shore Animal League Americans and said, hey, wouldn't this be fun? And next thing you know, for those who remember the Little Rascals, it's kind of akin to when one of the kids would say, hey, let's put on a play, and then everyone would do it. So that's kind of how it came together.
What character were you?
Darla.
Of course. And what was, and
you're
Junior?
Too young. Nicholas, you're too young. You don't know.
I
but
do too. I remember. They were black and white, right?
Ha ha.
Well, you know what? I think next year it would be great. How about I'll drive the Toyota and you stay home and work on the magazine?
What? I don't think I heard you. I think this is a bad connection. So I think I should take us to break. And when we come back, I want to talk about a great Fido-friendly hotel that we found on Route 66. So sit and stay. We'll be right back with more Travel Tales on Pet Life Radio.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts, put your seat bags and sleeping pets in their full upright position, and prepare for takeoff. Travel Tales will be zooming back with more great travel tips right after this.
Give your dog some thought with Dog Thoughts. It's the iPhone application that everyone's talking about.
Hey, what do you think of this? A man in Davis, California says he's invented an application for the iPhone that claims it can read your dog's mind. Huh? No, it's true. I read about it on my cat's Twitter page. That's why.
Jay Leno talked about it, CBS reported on it, and now you can see what all the buzz is about. Created just for dog lovers, Dog Thoughts makes taking photos of your furry best friend more fun. Shake your dog and read his mind. On your iPhone, of course. Take a pic of your pup, shake your phone, and watch as his thoughts appear on the screen. Does he have a bone to pick with you, or is he having a tail-wagging day? Get your Dog Thoughts iPhone app today. Just 99 cents. Go to PetLifeRadioPromotions.com. That's PetLifeRadioPromotions.com.
Greetings, human. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at PetPlanetMagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
When you're looking to add a pet into your life, consider adopting a homeless animal from your local shelter or rescue group. Whether you want a kitten, puppy, or a more mature pet, a purebred or a one-of-a-kind mixed breed, even a rabbit or hamster, your shelter has the best selection of animals anywhere, all screened for good health and behavior. PetLifeRadio.com presents Take Me Home with your host, Susan Daffron. Join us each week as we showcase wonderful pets, tell stories, and even throw some pet education into the mix. So get ready to find out why the pet adoption option can be a great way to add a furry companion into your life. Take Me Home every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Attention passengers, we are now approaching our final destination. The weather is sunny and warm. Ocean temperature is a balmy 80 degrees for those of you wishing to doggy paddle. Please exit to the front and see our activities directors, Susan and Nicholas, on your way out. Have a pleasant stay.
Welcome back to Pet Life Radio. This is Nicholas Bezlowski along with Susan Sims, your hosts for Travel Tales. We have been talking about the first annual Get Your Licks on Route 66 pet adoption tour that we just completed. And before we go too much further, I have to tell you, Susan, I'm a little pumped up for today's radio show.
Why is that?
Well, because I just found the greatest natural spring well. And so I have this natural clear water that I've been drinking. It doesn't have any of the chlorine or chloride, whatever that taste is that you get when you get to the store.
Doesn't have that stuff in it, huh?
Yeah, well,
wow,
I mean,
did it really give you energy?
It does. I mean, because it feels so smooth going down, just nice and refreshing.
Yeah, call me tomorrow and and you can tell me how you feel.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep you updated on my movements. So,
okay.
So what was your, getting back to the tour, what was your favorite Fido-friendly hotel that you experienced with Junior?
Oh, we probably went. Of course, we stayed in all these different wonderful, beautiful cities, and really and La Quinta Inn & Suites, they were our hotel sponsor and provided hotels for us the whole trip. So we were very fortunate to get to have a great place to stay. But in between those times when we would travel and kind of just head out and see what we could find, we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, somewhere we've never been, and we came upon this fabulous place. It's called the Inn and Spa at Lorreto in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And it's really historic and charming, and it's right where if that was where you're going to stay for a few days, you would just get out and walk. And there's so many galleries and so many things to see and so much history. And they welcome Fido. You get a little treat. They have a 50-pound weight limit, so thank goodness it was the beginning of the tour because Junior weighed in about 49 pounds, so he slipped in there, just perfect timing. But anyway, it was really a beautiful place, and I can't even hardly describe it because it's adobe kind of. It has the Santa Fe feel. It's just beautiful, and you just feel like you're in a 5-star resort. And there are a few people walking around with their dogs. But anyway, this was really probably one of our favorites, and I think it was the time of year that we were there. It was actually pretty nice when we were there in Santa Fe.
Well, did they have a pool there that Junior could jump into?
No, that was in Albuquerque. That was at a bed and breakfast in Albuquerque.
They let Junior
really
jump into the pool?
Well, yeah, the innkeeper was very cool, and that was the Hacienda Antigua, and that was in Albuquerque, and they had 2 dogs running around, and the innkeeper, Junior had never been swimming before, so he said, yeah, he can go in. So next thing I know, our mostly lab was swimming and didn't want to get out, so that was really fun.
Nice. Well, I wanted to ask you something because, we review a lot of hotels and just your personal experience. Do you find that a lot of the hotels are pretty strict when it comes to their weight restrictions?
Well, I actually find a lot of hotels that do not have weight restrictions, and those that do, my advice and what we always do is we will call and just talk to management and say if it's a 50-pound, just say, well, our dog weighs 65 pounds, but let me tell you about my dog, and you tell them what a great canine citizen he or she is, and how you travel, and get them confident that you don't have some unruly, mastiff.
So
no offense to people with mastiffs.
Well, so do you email in the baby pictures, or what do you do?
No, really, you're better just being proactive in calling and saying my dog's a little over the 50 pound, and we've never had anybody turn this down.
Can you say?
I take that back. I take that back. There was one in Branson, Missouri, that they had a 25-pound weight limit, and no matter what I said, they weren't going to budge. But that's the only time in 8 years that that's ever happened.
Oh, well, okay. That's not bad. So general rule of thumb is just to ask because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask. You don't be turned down or disheartened if it says 50-pound weight limit or even a 25-pound weight limit. Sometimes I think you just have to talk to management and assure them that you don't leave your dog in the room and, that kind of a thing. And that's really something people should remember. Don't leave your dog alone in a hotel room, even if they're great, at home and you leave them alone all the time. They're in a strange place. There's going to be noises. You wouldn't want to go out on a day of sightseeing, come back and have your room trashed.
Well, I don't know about that. I cheat. I let Tasha stay there. Well, what I do is, if I ever leave her alone, what I'll do is make sure that she's in her crate so she doesn't have the run of the place. But, the one thing that I always worry about is the barking. Because if I'm at a hotel and I'm enjoying my vacation and all of a sudden I hear dog barking, I'm going to get pretty annoyed. So what I do is I just make sure I leave my cell phone, with the front desk and I'm not too far away. And if anything comes up, I just say, hey, give me a call. Make sure I'll come back and take her out or something like that. So it's just not incessant barking all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. That actually happened to us at a few places where they did the same thing. They wanted, because we have Junior crate trained, and that when we do leave him, if we can't take him with us on an excursion and we put him in the crate, we make sure, number one, that we've exercised him first, that we've taken him out and gotten all that out of him first, and then we leave a cell phone for management so they can call, and that's worked out really good. We feel comfortable because we know that he's in his crate, and we know if he does start to bark, they'll call. But he's really a new traveler. I mean, this was his first. We adopted him in March, and this was his first road trip, and he's still on it. So, I mean, talk about feet to the fire.
Yeah, just write it out while you can, man.
Yeah.
Well, back to Santa Fe, you told me about this really neat historical church that you visited that was famous for one of their wood staircases.
Oh, yeah. What I was going to tell you, at the Inn and Spot Lorreto, which is Lorreto, so if you, anyone listening, if you want to go to their website, it's inatloretto.com. And what's really great is it's called the Lorreto Chapel, and the story goes, it's called the Miraculous Staircase, and what it is legend says it was constructed or inspired by St. Joseph the Carpenter and was built sometime between 1877 and 1881. It took at least 6 months to build and has two 360-degree turns with no visible means of support. So you can't even imagine what that looks like, but it's very inspiring. We could actually walk from our hotel through the hallway and come out to right where the Lorreto Chapel is, and then they have tours, and I think it was $2 or something, and you'd have a certain amount of people would come in. It's just a beautiful small chapel, just really beautiful, but the staircase is just something to behold. It really is breathtakingly beautiful, and you just can't imagine how that was constructed. So that also makes that one of my favorite places, because how often do you get to stay, someplace like that that's right next door to a historical monument, really?
Well, there was an interesting story on how that was actually built. Wasn't there just some guy appeared out of nowhere?
Some carpenter. And everyone knows who the carpenter was. He came and he accomplished his feat, and then he left, never to be heard or seen again.
Did he even get payment for his job?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, the story that I read says that he was there for 6 months and worked, tirelessly to get it done, and then he just left without payment. And that was, I think, in the early 1900s, right? Or 1800s?
No, it was 1800s.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just 100 years ago or so. A couple hundred.
Yeah, what do you want? Santa Fe's beautiful.
Well, did you bring Junior with you to the church?
No, he wasn't allowed out there, so he was back at the hotel in his crate.
Wait, I thought you just said don't leave your dog alone in the room.
If they're crate trained or crated. Hey, look, I'm traveling and I'm tired, so don't give me a hard time. Let's just say that the responsible thing to do is, if you leave your dog, is to crate him.
So we got
Ask
you.
Me another question.
Do.
Ask me another question.
I did not. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, it's always great to have your dog with you everywhere. And then, the times that you can't, just to be sure that you know what to do and make sure they're taken care of and not left out in the heat. Because when you guys were gone in your place on the road, it was, really high temperature. So the places, I imagine, were very air conditioned and probably very, suitable for him to stay there.
Oh, yeah. There was a couple of days that I worked from the hotel because it was just too hot even for me. But the other days he was at doggy daycare, which was perfect because then we'd get in the car and drive 3 or 4 hours and he would just be zonked out. So it worked out. And I would highly recommend that.
Nice. Well, do you have any other spots that you'd like to talk about on today's show? Nice little neat places that you visited off the historic Route 66?
There's too many, but one place I would love to talk about another time on our way home, we were in Mackinac Island in Michigan, and that's beautiful. If people ever saw the movie Somewhere in Time, that's where they filmed it. There's no cars allowed, only horses, and you have to get there by ferry, but that was an awesome trip, so we can talk about that another time.
Well, we can talk about it now. I've got time.
I think we're running out of gas. I think I have to go to the gas station.
Okay, fine. We'll do that next time. But that sounds really neat. And so everybody, be sure to check out the September-October issue of Fido Friendly Magazine for more information on the pet adoption tour. You can also go online to hear from the bus drivers at getyourlicks.org. Also, this next issue, September-October, I had a very nice interview with Cesar Millan, and we got into kind of the spiritual realm and how he really uses the energy to be effective in handling and communicating with dogs. So it was a really nice interview. He was very open and honest with all his answers and even answered some of the tough questions. So that's the September-October issue that's going to be out here in the next month or so.
Oh, I love it. I'm looking forward to that. And if anyone would like to find out about health and wellness topics or the latest fashion trends or just about traveling with Fido, you can go online to FidoFriendly.com to subscribe or stop in your local Borders, Barnes & Noble, or PetSmart and pick up a copy of Fido Friendly today.
Awesome. And if you would like to write in with questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. And if you've caught Susan saying anything that she shouldn't have, we would love to hear that as well. But feel free to email us at Pet Life Radio, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Yep. So until next time, safe travels, leave no dog behind. This is Susan Sims along with Nicholas Kozlowski for Travel Tales on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio presents Travel Tales, the show where you'll get great travel ideas on perfect places for you and your pet. From Paris to paradise, south of the border to the South Seas, Travel Tales will give you cool tips on fun vacation destinations to travel with your pet, pet-friendly hotels, and advice on how to travel safely and happily with your furry best friends. So get ready to pack the bags and the bones with your Travel Tales hosts, Susan Sims and Nicholas Kozlowski, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.